Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you could make it because in today's episode, we're going to be talking about what it's like to use an air shim while you're freeze drying. If you're not familiar with what an air shim is, this is what one looks like. They come in different sizes, and it's basically an inflatable pry bar. You could stick this under a door, inflate it. It'll help you level the door while you're installing it. Maybe even put it under some furniture or some appliances to get it off the ground a little bit in the event that you want to move it. Well, in today's video, we are going to be using it with our freeze dryer. And I got this idea from Alan, who is a member of our Stay Fresh Freeze Dry group on Facebook. And I'll put a link to that group in the description box below in case you want to head over there and join. Great group to be a part of. Anyway, he shared how he used his air shim, and we're going to talk about that in this video. And then through the process of, experimenting with this and the freeze dryer, I actually found a second way to use it that I thought was incredibly helpful. Let me show you. All right, first place we're going to put it is directly under the freeze dryer, between the freeze dryer and your table, right in the middle, and then begin pumping it up. It's super easy to pump up with one hand, not a problem. And if you pump it up to 100% capacity, at least this one, you're going to get a huge rise on your freeze dryer. This also works well with the Mega, the Stay Fresh Mega. A lot of clearance there. And if we look inside the freeze dryer right now, it's empty, but after a cycle, it's full of ice. And as that ice melts, the water has a tendency to pool in the front. Lifting your freeze dryer during that stage solves that problem. As you can see here, everything immediately runs to the back, right into the drain. Very easy. And then for this particular model, shim, all you do is press that button, it releases the air, and then gently lowers your freeze dryer. At which point you could leave the shim there, or you can put it up. Either way is fine. Now the other way that I like to use the air shim in our freeze drying operation is with the oil pump. So these pumps are not light, they're about 50 pounds. And generally, to get a really good oil change, you're going to want to lift that pump up during the oil change so that any moisture or solids or whatever that might be in the oil come out. This is where the air shim really comes in handy. I set it right towards the very back, just like that, and we're in essence going to do the exact same thing. Now that it's in the back, we're just going to pump that up, and it's going to give us that tilt on our oil pump. So here we go. I'm going to do it real time. No fast forwarding right here. Very easy to do. Now this pump weighs probably about 50 pounds, maybe a little bit more, with the oil in it. I'm going to pump this up quite a bit so that you can see the angle of the pump once we're finished. There we go. Now that is more than sufficient to get any kind of moisture, any kind of debris that might be at the very bottom of your vacuum pump. Couple more pumps here. There we go. That's way more than enough to make this happen. Let's go ahead and drain the oil. Now I did add a quick release valve on my industrial pump, and I'll put a link at the end of this video to show you how I did that, but you can see right here, draining out, absolutely no problem. Under normal circumstances, you would have to manually lift the pump. And if you do add one of these quick release valves, you're going to want to make sure that this top port right here is open. That's going to allow air to enter, and it's going to equalize the pressure inside your vacuum pump, allowing the oil to drain out a lot quicker. So there you go. Anyway, no problem. We're going to close that down, and our oil is now drained. To release that, once again, at least on this model, all you have to do is press the button, and it comes right on down, nice and gentle. And I'll leave that air shim just right there. You don't have to. You can remove it, put it up until you need it later. But I have several, so for me, it's easy just to leave them in the place that I end up using them. All right, guys, there you have it. A couple very interesting uses when it comes to using an air shim with your freeze dryer. The first is to raise your machine up so that it helps with the drainage as the ice is thawing. And the second method allows you to tilt your vacuum pump just a little bit so that you can get all of that oil out. And normally you would do this by hand, but having an air shim, just pump, 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 and the next thing you know, you're in business. Now, the ones that I have here in front of me are relatively large. This says 500-pound contractor grade. This particular size is perfect to place under the freeze dryer if you're going to be using it in that capacity, and you can leave it there all the time. In the description box below, I'll put a link to the air shims that we used in today's video. I basically just bought them on Amazon, and if you have any questions about the Stay Fresh freeze dryer, I'll put a link to their company in the description box below as well. I'll even put a discount code that Stay Fresh was kind enough to offer in the event that you're interested in purchasing one. If you're into freeze drying food, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and if you have any questions about what we talked about today, leave them in the comment section below. Matter of fact, if you use an air shim while you freeze dry and it's different than what we showed in this video, let me know how you use it in the comment section below as well. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.